Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to my third episode in my Scrap Mechanics solo survival series. I'd just like to start with updating you as to what I got up to off camera. I've pretty much just been collecting a lot more resources and mainly metal that I was looking for, and you'll see why in a second. I also found I think 4 more garment boxes, so once we get a dress spot going we can do a sort of unboxing at the start of an episode. I've started storing all my circuit boards here as I had way too many to keep on my inventory, and my storage situation at the moment isn't doing too great. What I also did was upgrade the car that we built last episode. Spent quite a bit of time getting a lot more metal to upgrade it, and it's looking pretty good. It's performing quite well. The handling at the moment is still not great, but I think that's due to the weight. It's only level 1 metal, so it's not that heavy. But in the future I hope to upgrade it to level 2 and potentially level 3 metal in the future. But what we're doing today will help towards that. Because in today's episode, what I want to do, I think I mentioned it last episode, was get a temporary drill going on the front, so that we can go out, collect metal, start collecting stone as well for our future base. Mainly the metal, so that in the next couple of episodes I can get a mining vehicle going. And we'll need a lot of metal for this, as I'd like to have quite a few drills, and as we can see in the crafting, drills are quite expensive in terms of metal, so we'll need to start going with that. I have everything that I think I'll need in my inventory, so we might as well just start getting right into it. Actually, first I'll show you this switch turns on the lights. We had that before. This one lifts up the bed, which gives us access to the gas can, and also the engine, which I upgraded to level 5, which not only is much better in terms of fuel efficiency, but also sounds really nice, and you guys will hear that in a second once I finish building this and we get it going. This, as I said, it's just going to be something very simple, just to start being able to grind down the rocks and get some metal from it. Just this little setup like that. Unfortunately we can't have it in the middle as it's a 2-block center, so it's going to be offset, which is a little bit annoying, but as I said, it's just temporary, so it's not too big of a deal. Going to need a switch to push out the piston, and also a switch to turn on the engine. Or not the engine, well, yes, the engine, which will turn on this bearing with the drill on it. I could just connect this bearing to this engine that controls the wheels, but that means we'd lose out on some fuel, as this would always be running when we're driving forward towards any rock, so I figured it'd be better just to make another engine, because I'll need this for the other car in the future anyway. We'll also need a controller for the piston. We can connect that to that. Maybe have it come out about 5. Make it fast, and we'll connect that to the seat. Then we'll need to crank this up, connect that to this, no? Yeah, connect that to the button, connect that to the bearing. No, connect the engine to the bearing. My bad. And then that to the seat, which should... I wonder why that isn't working. That should be turning the drill. It isn't. Yeah, we've got the engine connected to the switch and the engine connected to the bearing. So when this is... oh, it doesn't have fuel. That's why. I was making simple mistakes, but yeah, anyway. Not pick up more. Okay, anyway. We'll put that in there. And now we'll test it. Yep, there we go. And 3. Okay, so I think that's us pretty much ready. There's some big rocks over here. So we'll go and give this a test and see how it goes. I'll just drive a bit so you can hear the new engine that we've got in. Yeah, listen to that. That sounds great. But anyway, so to mine the rocks, all we gotta do is drive up to it. Might be a little bit difficult since it's on a hill, but it shouldn't be too bad. But drive up to it, extend the piston, and start the drill. So this is, like I said, very not efficient in the slightest. It's going to be quite difficult to mine rocks to start with. But, yeah, see, there we go. It is possible. It'll just take a while. And all we really got to do is get them down into the slightly smaller rocks, and we can finish the job with our hammer. We just got to get them down to that. That one we got all the way. That's ready to be refined. I'm probably going to spend a little bit of time probably clearing this entire rock. It'll probably take me a good 10 to 15 minutes to do it. Since it is quite a big rock, but it should yield quite a lot of metal and stone. So I'll go and get that done. Right, okay, so I continue to mine all the rocks, and I think I've made a huge mistake as I'm currently averaging about 6 or 7 FPS. And I'm assuming it's just because of how many rocks are lying around. That was a big rock, and I think I should have probably done it in bits, but yeah, I'm going to attempt to break down all these rocks. All we got to do is... Actually, it's not even worth me demonstrating, you won't be able to see anything, but we got to smash down these rocks until they're in long little bits of stone or metal, and then refine them, and then we get the stone or the metal. But I'm gonna do that off camera so you don't have to endure 6 or 7 FPS for the entire time. Okay, so I've hit quite a few of them down into this form and stacked them up, and that seems to have helped the FPS, so I'll just kind of show you guys what we gotta do. So once we break them down with the drill from this rock into one of these, we hit it down into this, hit each of these 4 times, and then that gives us stone and metal, or just stone in this case. These ones are stone, they refine for 10 stone. These are metal, they refine for 10 metal. So I'm just going to stack them up in their 2 respective piles, and we'll see how much we've got at the end of it. Okay guys, so now we're at this point. We've got all our metal and our stone all lined up. I didn't quite do all of it because it has taken me about 45 minutes from the start to get to this point, which hasn't been too great. I have starved or dehydrated to death many times just because not much point in me eating all my food at this point when I can just die and respawn right next to this with no like negative side to it. There we go, we've got everything. I better eat up before I dehydrate. And I was thinking that I was planning on just refining this by hand, and I'm thinking that it'd be better for me in this episode to get a resource collector and a refine bot, because that's going to take me at least 15-20 minutes to refine that, which isn't going to be too fun. It's pretty mind-numbing just sitting pressing E on all those. So I'll see if I can get myself a refine bot. What do I need? I'll need to go and harvest 60 metal and 30 metal. So if I can go and get 90 metal, I can just refine 9 of those little metal rods, since they refine straight into metal 1 rather than metal scrap. So if I get 90 of those, I can get a resource collector and a refine bot, and this will make refining all this far easier. Okay, so here we are back at the mechanic station, ready to get our refine bot. So we'll get that, and can we get the... Right, we'll have to wait until we can get the resource collector. What this will allow us to do is collect all the materials out there in the resource collector, put it next to the refine bot, and that will allow us to, well, just refine it all for us. That will have something to do much. We'll take this chest as we'll need that, and we'll carry this out. I might as well put it as close to all the stuff we're doing for now. We can always move it back later. This will probably end up on our mining vehicle. Once we get it built and we get it to a stage where it'll be able to fit the refine bot and a couple of resource collectors in the back, because that'll make things way faster when it comes to mining and collecting rocks. And so we don't get to the stage earlier where I was getting about 6 frames per second, because that wasn't too good. And now we just got to take this out here, and this should make this process way easier, but this has, all in all, taken far more time than I would have expected, but I'm hoping it'll be worth it, because it's not even mined the entire rock, and it seems we've got quite a lot of metal and stone, so that'll be good. So what we got to do is put that there. We can attach a chest here, and all we got to do is put this down next to it, and there it goes, it's filled up. Now we just place this here. It's going to suck it into here, it'll refine it, and then once it's done refining it, we should see it in this chest. There we go, 10 metal. What I'll probably do is get another 30 and get a second resource collector, and hopefully that'll speed the whole process up even further. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get all this refined, and we'll see how much resources we've got at the end of it. Okay guys, so I've just finished refining all the metal and the stone that I did get, and this is all we got. We got about 410 metal, which is quite good. A lot of stone that'll be useful when it comes to making our base off in the future. I'm just going to store that all in here for now, as we're going to be needing this chest for what I'd like to do for the rest of the episode. Okay, yes guys, for the second half of the episode, what I'd like to do is get all this to the packing station and get trading for some blueberry seeds, so that I can start growing some blueberries. I've already started growing some orange. Actually, no, I've not started growing oranges yet. I'm going to do that once I get the blueberry seeds, which I'm going to do now. So for this, all we need is a chest, a button, and a vacuum pump. So if we just place this on here like that, and put the vacuum pump on the end, connect the vacuum pump to a button which we can place here. Connect this to that. The button to the seam should be go. I also did remove the drill from the front just because it'll be easier to drive without it on. Between episodes when I go to get more metal, I can easily just put it back on. But to get all this packaged, we need to go to the packing station, which you can just see off in the distance there. So I'm going to drive there just now and we'll get it packed. So what we need to do is, I've got red beets I'd like to package, so I just need to reverse up to where the red beet pipe is. Once I get it lined up right, it'll allow me to shoot the red beets in. We get it like this, and then we can just press our button. And after I shoot 10 red beets into it, it'll give us a crate. There's 1 crate. There's 2 crates. And there's 3 crates. Now all we need to do is bring them over to the farmer, which generally means just shoving it on the side of our car, driving it over. This is definitely not looking too pretty, but it's only until we get it over there. This might make this a little bit harder to drive, but thankfully we don't have too far to drive. So now that we're here at the farmer's hideout, all we need to do is place these 3 on. Press the button 3 times to collect all the crates. And now, when we come over to the farmer, as you can see from our balance, we've got 3 crates of red beets in there, which we can use to trade for the blueberry seeds.
Thank you.
Thank you too. Now we have blueberry seeds, we can go back to our farm and get these started. Get on our way to a spud gun. So we definitely could get a spud gun in the next couple of episodes, which gives us the opportunity to then go and take on a warehouse. I think for next episode I'd definitely like to get the mining vehicle made, like I spoke about earlier. I think that would be quite good for me, just to get a lot of metal, because today was quite painful. It took me about an hour just to get that entire rock mined and all refined, so definitely not looking to do that every time I want to get some metal. That's something I'd like to do in tomorrow's episode. For the rest of this episode, what I'd like to do is just head on down to the farm and get our new blueberries and oranges planted. Okay, so we've got 5 blueberry seeds and only 1 orange seed, so we're gonna be getting the blueberries that we need first, but I also brought some fertilizer down, as I'd quite like to get these growing as fast as I can, as I don't really want to run the risk of losing that orange seed, because if a bot comes and destroys that orange seed, then I have no means of getting oranges. I'll have to start growing up tomatoes again, and that will be a bit of a pain. So it's going to be about 21 minutes from now until the farm bot, or the hay bots and the tote bots come, so I'm hoping that they'll be grown before that and I'm able to harvest them. But if not, I'm just going to have to defend it as well as I can. But I think that's about all the time I've got time for today. I think we'll just leave this here. I'd like to thank you all again for watching this video. I've hoped you've all enjoyed it. I'm going to try and keep sticking with the daily uploads as much as I can, so I guess come back tomorrow to see me making a mining vehicle, I guess. Anyways, thanks again guys, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.